Hey everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the RAG. RAG is very hot topic nowadays. Everyone is talking about RAG. We will just try to discuss, understand what is RAG, what is vector DB, and why we will be using it. So RAG is nothing but it's a retrieval augmented generation. Means you can generate uh, without considering anything about the retrieval part. Okay, for example, you have a query. For this particular query, you retrieved three articles or three documents. Those documents you will send to the LLM with the query as a input, as well as these documents as the context, and you will try to generate the answer for that particular query. This is the retrieval augmented generation. Now, what is vector DB? Vector DB is basically to store these embeddings. So if you have to understand the embeddings, they are nothing but the numerical representation of any text. In our case, it is text, so you can say numerical representation of your text is embedding. Let's try to understand and try to see how we can achieve that. So in this use case, what I'm trying to do is basically I have few HTML pages. They have some text, obviously. That text is, I just want a retrieval system that will, if I just hit some query, it will just try to give me that particular chunk or that text, and then I want to pass this query and the retrieved chunk to LLM to generate the final answer. Okay, so there are some libraries, maybe these libraries you would be familiar with. These are the some of the libraries that you can use. This partition unstructured library is helpful when you have the HTML pages. So what it will do, it will try to clean that HTML page, or first of all it will try to download the page if you don't have it downloaded, and if you have it downloaded, then it will try to clean it up, removing all HTML related formattings and all, right? The second function is chunk by title. So it will also try to give you different chunks based on the formatting on the HTML page. Right? Those two maybe functions you can use. Now we have the sentence transformer. You would be familiar with this. I'm loading a model using the sentence transformer for creating the embeddings, right? Now this is what I'm doing with all my documents. In this case, I'm having a folder path where all my HTMLs are there. So I'm just passing that folder path, right? Creating documents embeddings, retrieving top maybe 10 results, correct? Ranking is I'm not going to touch today. Loading, then creating embeddings, and then indexing it. And finally, we will try to run it or try to retrieve it. Okay. In the loading phase, if you will see the folder path that I passed, right? There I'm trying to find all the file names and creating a file path using os.path.join. This file path I'm passing to the partition HTML library we just discussed, right? What it will do, it will try to clean that HTML and give me these elements, right? This title I'm just creating from the file name. You can also do that. Using these elements, I will try to create different chunks using chunk by title function, right? Now I have multiple chunks from a single HTML page. Those chunks, I'm just trying to create a list of dictionaries and putting it inside self.docs, right? Where each dictionary will have a title, it will have a text of chunk, also it will have a URL or file path, correct? This is the loading part. Now second is the embeddings. For the embedding piece, I will do it in the batch format. right? For each batch, I will try to pull up only the text piece, item text, and pass it to my encoder model, sentence transformer. It will give me the embeddings. Those embeddings I'm storing here, docs embeddings, right? That's it. Now the third is we have the embeddings available. Now we have to index it in some vector DB so that we can retrieve it later. So the dimension of the embeddings will be 768, and you can just add all your embeddings here in this vector DB docs embeddings. Maybe some hyperparameters are there, we can discuss it later, correct? And once the embeddings are done, then we are done with this whole flow. Now the next step is basically we just have to retrieve it. Retrieval means when you will pass a query, right, the query will come to the retrieval system. For this particular query, we will try to generate the embeddings, passing it to model function model.encode. These embeddings, query embeddings, we will pass to KNN query to retrieve all the relevant or uh, related chunks for this particular query. These are my doc IDs. These doc IDs I'm just returning it back, right? Let's try to see it with one example. So this is the folder path where all my HTMLs are residing. I'm passing the folder path here to the document. So what it will do, it will try to load the documents, it will try to create the embeddings, and then it will do the indexing, right? Now the next thing is we will try to check the retrieval part. So if you will pass the doc dot retrieve, and this is my query, how to get the discount, okay? So it will do the same process here. This one, it will create the embeddings, retrieve the top chunks related to this, and send it back. If you will see, these are the chunks that it found relevant to this query, and it sends it back here, right? Now these are the top chunks. Now what is the next thing that we need to do is basically we will try to take these chunks, we will try to take this query, pass to LLM, and generate the answer. With this, our RAG using vector DB will be completed. Okay, I will try to show that piece in the second video for completing the RAG process. I hope you like this. Thank you for watching.